I come from a family of 5 kids at the moment, and I happen to be the middle child. When I was much younger, we were also a family of 5, until I lost one of my older sisters to being terribly sick. Then there were 4, 2 older sisters and 1 younger brother. I wasn't really close to my sisters because of the age gap, so I spent more time with my brother. I was also daddy's little girl, which meant I spent a lot of time with the men of the house. That included watching all sorts of sports: football, basketball, baseball, even wrestling. My personal interests went from Disney fairy tale princesses to football and baseball, working out, going out to the park, and running around. During the summer, I spent my time passing a football or a baseball back and forth with my brother and his friends, or learning how to shoot a basketball with my dad. Once I started getting older and my physical body started to inherit my father's broad shoulders and athletic body, I knew I was made for sports, and football was my favorite. I had a pretty good arm, too, and I was never afraid of contact. I thought I would eventually be the first female in the NFL. I didn't care how bizarre the dream sounded. My mother had raised her kids to know that they were never expected to be anything less than outstanding. Growing up, my mother made sure that her kids knew all the sacrifices she had to make because she had not finished college. Then eventually she had to take care of her kids and didn't have time or a career. She made it clear that we were not going to go down the same path. We were to work hard throughout our entire lives, learn to do things ourselves, and never count on anyone to do anything for us. We were all expected to go to college and get a career. Coming from the Bronx, that sounded like a pretty good idea. I wanted nothing more than to get out of the Bronx. When I entered high school, I was afraid of what I was to become. I didn't know what I wanted to be, and my dreams of being a writer slowly faded within my freshman year. During my sophomore year, I remember sitting in my advisor's office, who happened to be the school gym teacher. A group of us were helping unpack a ton of new equipment we had received. I remember opening the box with the rugby balls. I had no idea what kind of sport consisted of using an oversized football, but I wanted to try. I immediately picked up on it after a few skill sessions during gym class. We finally started to understand. When it was finally game time, I went all out. I remember after the game was over, I was sitting down catching my breath. My coach came over and helped me up and said, "Next year, you're going to be on the girls' rugby team." That summer, I fell in love with the sport. For the next 2 years, I spent all the time I possibly could trying to get better, whether it was going to the gym or going out with the team on a Saturday to practice some more, as if our 3-hour-long practices every day after school wasn't enough. I wanted to be better. I wanted to be so good that I would become a member of the women's national team and go to the Olympics. But that would be a long journey that I had to commit to and start slowly. When I reached my senior year, I started to get more involved. I attended a few rugby camps at the end of the year, and at the end of the year, I was invited to this big camp that was held in Colorado for the best high school players throughout the country. It was a privilege to be acknowledged as one of the best players, and I could only dream of making it further if I worked harder. As a senior, I knew I wanted to attend a college that had a great rugby team. My coach, who had become like a father to me, had helped me find American International College, AIC. He helped me get in contact with the coach, who happened to be a player herself. She had immediately convinced me that I wanted to be a player at this school. I am just finishing up my second semester as a freshman at AIC, and I couldn't feel more at home. The team has grown immensely, and we learn more together every day. I recently attended a rugby camp for sevens, and the women's national coach had been present. My mindset was to have fun, do the best I could, and get some good criticism at the end, so I could know what I did well and what I should work on. At the end of the camp, I was given the news that I was being invited to San Diego to train at the Olympic Training Center with the women's sevens coach.